Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Mothers love their children. They'll do anything for them. That's what we're told. But I don't believe my mother ever loved me. She certainly didn't seem to care for me, or my 3 younger siblings, the way other mothers did. She never hugged us or showed us affection. It wasn't until I had my son, now 28, that I realized what maternal love should look like. Instinctively, I knew I would die for him. On the other hand, my mother, who died 8 years ago, made me feel unlovable. For her, I was never good enough. My first memory of her criticizing me was when I was just 6. As I strutted playfully in front of a mirror, she said, "You're starting to get fat, you want to watch that." It was the first of many derogatory comments about my body. Over the years, I realized my mother wasn't simply selfish or uncaring. Having researched the subject, I came to recognize that she very likely had narcissistic personality disorder, though it was never formally diagnosed. Everything in our family revolved around her. Our job was to bolster her overinflated view of herself. And my father, an executive with Aer Lingus who died 3 years ago, always took her side. It took me 20 years to have the courage to turn my back on my mother, cutting all contact. It was the only way to save my sanity. After I started to share my experiences around a decade ago, it sparked a huge response. Since then I've spoken to thousands of women with similar stories to tell, and have set up Daughters of Narcissistic Mothers in order to help others like me. More than 2 million people have visited my website, and I've written 4 books on the subject. While I may not have professional training as a therapist, what's clear is there are experiences that are common to everyone who's had to suffer at the hands of a narcissistic mother. And with experts estimating 1 in 20 people in Britain have symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder, it means many of us are living with such a parent. Here are the 10 questions you can ask to help identify if you have a narcissistic mother. Does she celebrate your successes? It's normal for mums to bask in our achievements. But narcissists have such an overinflated sense of themselves they can't stand being second best. Women have told me that even at their graduations their mothers would be practicing one-upmanship, boasting that their degree was better. When I told my mother I'd won a prize for one of my novels, she smiled smugly. "Well, you are related to James Joyce on my side, so that's not surprising." In those few words she managed to dismiss all my hard work and determination. It wasn't just unkind, it was rubbish, a fantasy born of the fact her Irish grandfather had a passing physical resemblance to the writer. Is she supportive in tough times? If your mother's a narcissist, she's got so little empathy she doesn't have a clue what you need. One woman told me how she sobbed down the phone to her mother after she had a miscarriage. Instead of providing a sympathetic ear, her mother said, "You've got to stop crying. It's tough for me. I've lost my grandchild and you're making me even sadder." Do you feel confused after being with her? Narcissists genuinely believe they always know best and can never bear to be wrong. Being raised by them is like living in a hall of mirrors. Nothing is as it seems. A form of gaslighting, they will swear that black is white, and if we dare to demur they will accuse us of having a vivid imagination or that the problem is with us. I would have terrible rows with my mother and, the next time I saw her, she would deny they had ever happened. "You're just being oversensitive," she'd snap. They make you question your own sense of reality, and spending time with them is draining. Does she have favorites? Narcissistic mothers fall into 2 categories, ignoring mothers like mine who are so engrossed in their own selves they ignore their children, or engulfing mothers who see their children as extensions of themselves. The engulfing mothers can have a golden child who can do no wrong, along with a scapegoat who is blamed for everything. That's commonly the child who dares to question her. Does she respect your personal space? Did your mother read your teenage diary? Did she barge into your bedroom without knocking? We all know teenagers can be tricky. But narcissists have an excessive need to contract.